What up guys, it's your brother Joe here and welcome once again to my F1 2020 My Team career mode. We are now at Paul Ricard and as you can see here I'm just filling my activities and just diving right into the corporate side of things before we go to the circuit. But now it's time to qualify and see what we can do. We do have a minor upgrade that's been attached to the car, so hoping that's going to help. Now this circuit has a bit of a reputation for boring races, so I'm hoping we can break that one and actually have an exciting race round here. We're giving it everything on our qualifying lap, just trying to get a decent grid position. I've got to say, as boring as this race can be to watch, I really do enjoy driving around this circuit. And I think, you know, like Russia, it can hold a dull race, but it's really fun to drive, and I'm hoping here we can have an exciting race. We've set a relatively good qualifying time, and I thought that would be enough to get through Q1, and it wasn't. So we actually made the decision at this point to take on new components, and this is also where I chose my new rival as Pierre Gasly. I know I mentioned that in the Canadian Grand Prix race. I didn't actually realise it was here that I officially made him my rival, so I do apologise for the spoiler on that one. But yeah, we are ready to go now for the French Grand Prix. I'm also going to take on another couple of upgrades, you know, just to keep the upgrade work going and just try and move up the grid a little bit. For the next few races, we've got some power circuits coming, and I'd like to have all the pace I can. I'm also taking on some chassis and aero upgrades while I can. But here we go then, the French Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to France, host of the world-famous Tour de France. But we're not talking two wheels today, we're talking four, in a country widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing back in the late 1800s. We've come a long way since then, and you're about to find out how far. It's time for the French Grand Prix. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Now, I want to talk to you about Valtteri Bottas. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon, Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Norris, Kimi Raikkonen, and Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, and Pierre Gasly, Russell, Latifi, Schumacher, and Oldtimer. And with lights out just moments away, it's...
So as you can see, we've taken a 30 place grid penalty for all the new components we took. We basically took one of everything, but it's lights out and away we go, and straight away I'm looking to get past my teammate Mick Schumacher at the back row again. You know, contract time coming up. We've got big decisions to make. Anyway, having a look at diving up the inside of the first corner, but that just did not work out at all. We got shuffled out, and now I'm going to try and make my way down the inside here. Just trying to find room where I can. I nearly smash into Latifi in the process, and that would have been a horrible impact as I'm being shoved by George Russell. I'm trying to, again, nip up the inside here, but George Russell, well, he ain't liking that one. He just sweeps around my outside there. I'm going to remember that move, George. I'm just going to remember that one. You wait and see. I will remember that. Right, we're coming onto the straight now, and I'm going to see if I can just get any ounce of a run on him, and we're just not able to on the straights because we just, again, power is where we're lacking, but we're going to go around the outside of George Russell there, Is he allowing me through? No, he's not. George Russell putting up the strongest of fights for P19 there. So I now go to the left, hoping he'll give me space. He has allowed me space. We're still wheel to wheel, going around one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Still wheel to wheel around the outside there, but eventually my momentum is too good for George, and he just succumbs and gives that one up. And now we're going to try and go around the outside of Magnussen. And again, wheel-to-wheel racing here. This is good racing. Probably the best racing we've ever seen around this circuit. And I will take P18 ahead of Magnussen. And I'm taking another look up the inside of Grosjean there. We're just nipping place after place on this opening lap. This is really quite strong. And I'm hoping that we can follow through on this. Is Grosjean going to try and have a look back up the inside of first corner? Yes, he is. Magnussen also taking a look. Sandwiched by Haas's. You has to be kidding me there. As Grosjean takes a dive up the inside, but then completely backs out of it when he realises that I'm still alongside him and I'm not giving this one up easily. And, well, Grosjean not really wanting another collision to add to his list. Right, we're trying to hang on to this pack now, which is directly ahead of us. The two AlphaTauris of Kvyat and Gasly. But they're just about starting to stretch away from us here. And we're finding ourselves really struggling to catch up as we see Lance Stroll on our left having a bit of an engine issue there. That's very unfortunate for him. But we're now carrying on to try and keep up with these AlphaTauris. But they just seem to have a bit of an advantage on us right now. Although we've caught Gasly right up on this straight. Oh, we're going to have a look up the inside. Yes, we are, but we've misjudged the braking spot. And we just decide to go across the first chicane there. And as you can see now, Gasly and Kvyat are just miles up the road. They are gone. And if anything, we've now got Grosjean and Magnussen to defend. Grosjean getting very close there, but just not having the look. Just thinking that one through a bit and just thinking better of it, deciding maybe he's going to have a little look later. But we're still in P16 after 6 laps. I think Carlos Sainz now coming into the pit, so that makes us P15. And there is also the threat of rain towards the end of this race. So a bit later on in this race, we are going to have some rain. The AlphaTauris, though, really got away from me now. And Grosjean, I just cannot shake off. He is the fly in my soup. And then as he tries to fly away, he flies into my face. We're now seeing the second of our engine failures here. I believe that's Max Verstappen out of the race and a main title contender at this point. So that's a critical failure for him. That's the last thing he wants to have in this race. The safety car has now come out. So we decide to take this opportunity to come into the pits and take on a set of soft tyres, hoping that, because I heard the rain was literally 10 minutes away on the radio, hoping that that's the strategy call to make, because the mediums wouldn't have lasted another 10 minutes, which would have been another 6 or 7 odd laps, and I don't want to risk a puncture, so I thought I'll take on a set of softs, take on some fast tyres, and then if the rain does come at the right moment, I could nip a few positions in the strategy, like I did in Zandvoort. So trying something a little bit ambitious and a little bit different here. And as we get underway, it's already clouding over quite badly as we try to sort of keep momentum with Ricciardo, doing a little bit of track extending as we do so. Hey, I'm just following what IndyCar do. I mean, I don't know if you saw the race from the Circuit of the Americas last season, but in their mind, what are track limits? Anyway, we're now right up the back of Ricciardo, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of a toe on him on the straight. But if anything, it's Kevin Magnussen, who is right up my chuff, who is having that go. He's having a look up the inside. I've given him very little room, but then he was completely alongside me, so I had to surrender that he was having the look. But I managed to outbrake him, and we hold on to P13. And we've got Carlos Sainz holding this little pack up now, as Daniel Ricciardo is all over the back of Pierre Gasly for that 11th place, and we're just trying to follow him through. If Ricciardo does go through, it would be nice to sort of then have a look at Gasly and get ahead of our brand new rival. It's worth a lot of acclaim if you can beat your rival, so it's important that we start this rivalry as we intend to go on, and that was a pretty ruthless move on Gasly there. absolutely taking no prisoners. We get past him there, and Gasly's coming back at me, but I aggressively defend that one off, and Gasly, I think, will be a little bit unhappy with that one. Magnussen's right behind me, and Magnussen's just gone round the outside of Gasly, so that will rub salt into the wound further. But some of the cars are coming in now for their final stops because they all took on the soft tyre when the safety car came out. Their soft tyres are now dead, so they've all come into the pits. We're now running in P2, and I'm just hoping, praying that the rain starts now and that it absolutely lashes it down now. Because if that happens, we've called it perfectly. And you can see there the rain is streaming off my car. It has started to rain. And as Valtteri Bottas is coming out of the pits, we have taken the lead of the French Grand Prix. Yes, you are hearing that right. We are leading this race. But Charles Leclerc is right behind me. And he is eager to take that lead off me in the Ferrari. And we are going to have to defend like our lives depend on it. Especially if that rain does come down heavier. And we are in the right place to actually have a go at winning this race. But you're going to watch now Leclerc just get right behind me. And there's nothing I could have done. He just blasts past me. Hey Leclerc, nice illegal engine you have there, blasting past me like that. Jeez. Anyway, we've now got Valtteri Bottas right behind me, and we're going to have to defend again. And I'm pretty sure my tyres are starting to get finished. We're now going to go to the left to defend Bottas. But Bottas having that look, and he's pushed us off. We've hit the wall. We've gone round, and that's a big chunk of our front wing gone. And look at that. Bottas going off the circuit to try and get past me there. What an extraordinary move he was attempting. He got a bit sideways coming out of the corner there, but you can see here he's got all four wheels off the circuit as I'm coming across as well. I don't know why, for the life of me, Bottas was taking that line as he was off the circuit. There was no gap on the circuit there to begin with, and he's taken me off. And in my rage, you can see there, I've got across to defend against Giovinazzi, not really aware of the momentum he had, and that is a disaster to happen in this race. I've got no words for that. Like, Bottas was off the circuit. There was no gap on the circuit for him to go onto, so I don't know why he picked that one. And as he was taking me out, he was off the circuit. Should have backed out of that one, but we've got going again. Fresh set of soft tyres to take us to the end. And now I'm getting after Latifi, and Bottas is actually down to 17th, so he's ruined his own race in the process there. But that's the one thing I've noticed on this game, is that the AI can cause collisions with you that are completely their fault. But, you know, it is what it is, and we've caught up to Latifi. We're going to absolutely send this one up his inside when we get there, because I'm in no mood. I'm in no mood for anyone else's rubbish in this race. An alternative to the word I really wanted to say. But we've got past Latifi. Next up, I presume, will be Russell, because Bottas will make easy work of him, and it is Russell. Remember that move you did on me on lap 1, George? Round the outside here? Get a sense of deja vu much? Well, whatever. We've sent that one round the outside of Russell, and I just thought I'd rub that one in, because that's the move he did on me on the first lap. We've gone round the outside with much better grip on our tyres, and that is P17. And we've come up to the last lap. Charles Leclerc then has taken the win. Mick Schumacher is actually going to finish ahead of us for the first time this season that he has outraced me, but, you know, I've got nothing to say about that. I am hugely disappointed with that race. We could have gained a few points from that, but what can you do? It is what it is. Thank you, Bottas, very much for ruining my race.
We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Oh look, it's the sympathy vote for driver of the day that you see so often IRL.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Ferme. What a fantastic race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
I haven't the words for that race. Like, we were doing relatively okay, just outside the points, and I think we could have knocked on the door of a point or two, even though our strategy was wrong and the rain didn't come down as hard as we were hoping. But it wasn't meant to be, and Bottas just took it upon himself to wipe me out. Not that I'm salty about that at all, and it was nice to see that I got the sympathy vote for Driver of the Day, as you so often see IRL. Get directly in the bin. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. It could have been so much more. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. I will leave you with the highlights reel, and until the next one, it is goodbye from me. Thank you for watching. Yeah.